Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Now, what can I say about South Park, The Fractured Butthole? It is definitely a bigger improvement and did a much better job than The Stick of Truth. Now, the premise of the game picks up sometime after The Stick of Truth, where, as a new kid, you are called in by Coon and friends, and at the same time having to try and find a lost cat named Scrambles. And at the same time, you have to deal with the Freedom Pals, which consists of Token, Tweek, Stan, Timothy, and Kenny. And at the same time, the premise of the game is about dealing with franchises and dealing with other things. Now, I also do admit that I actually found the game quite enjoyable, and at the same time, there are some hilarious moments that actually seemed pretty legit. Like, one scene where you're battling in a police station, you get to battle Jared Fugel, the former guy from Subway, and even get to battle an outer god, Shub Niggurath, and at the same time also having to deal with Butters' dad, who has grounding ability powers. Now, at the same time, in the game, you can take selfies with characters such as Cartman's mum, Officer Barbaby, also Mr. Mackey, PC Principal, and so on. Now, there are some characters that you can't selfie with, which I kind of wish you could have, because in the town of South Park, people do have mobile phones. At the same time, the game does bring a lot of classic old characters back, like the Crab People, Mr. Slave and Big Gay Owl, also such as a lot of old elements. Now, what's also interesting about the game is you even get to learn more about the new kid's parents. And what's interesting is that the person who voices the new kid's mum actually played Sora in Digimon Season 1 and 2, and even played Wasp in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and Ino in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. So it's nice to see some old voices back. Now, at the same time in the game, you do get side quests, like help Cartman's mum start a business, also find gay artwork for Craig's dad, and even helping a gay fish gets his mum to heaven. Now, there are some new summons and some old ones. Newer summons are pretty much like Kyle's dad in a kind of drugged fantasy from the episode Major Boobage. You got Classy running through her car. You've also got Jimbo and his friend using guns and stuff, and it's definitely great. And I do admit that the game's combat system is improved a lot more. So it's more like a strategical game, and at the same time you get to learn other new moves, attacks, get new powers, and so on. Now, at the same time, I do hope if there's a third one that they'll do a ninja-themed one, such that from the kind of episode, so Good Times with Weapons, or better yet, a pirate-themed also. It would definitely be interesting. Now, at the same time with the game, is that it does bring a lot of great elements that I feel did a much better job than the previous South Park game. So, what do I think of South Park The Fractured Butthole? It is definitely improved a lot, and it does improve a lot, and it does point out things like superhero franchises, people using iPhones, how corrupt the world can be, and I do admit it's a much better game than The Stick of Truth. So I give it 2 thumbs ups. This deserves a lot of praise, as much better handled and much better done. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.